time for another episode of Reality Rants with Professor Koree. I've had a lot on my mind lately, but one of the first things that I wanted to talk about was Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Now, we know the acronym D-A-D-T. And it took me the longest time to figure out what it was. Like, I'd see tweets about it, and so I was like, what the fuck is that? I just call it Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I really don't find an acronym, or the word that much harder to say than the acronym, but that's just me. I like talking. It was just like the whole situation just like hurts my brain with how incredibly retarded it was. Like, essentially what happened was they had to vote on the bill in order to discuss the bill, which means they had the piece of paper, and they could have talked about the piece of paper, but they had to vote on whether or not they were going to talk about the piece of paper. And they voted no, we don't want to talk about the piece of paper for whatever reason. But I really don't give a fuck. Like, that's their job. That's Congress's job. Their job is to take a controversial issue or a topic or a crisis and talk about it. That's all they do. And I really don't want to talk about like why I am for or against Don't Ask, Don't Tell. What I kind of wanted to talk about was why are the people that are talking about it? For example, we all saw the famous Lady Gaga speech, and that kind of empowered the youth, and like she was talking about she gave this elaborate speech. It was a very beautifully written speech, but she doesn't have the best speaking ability. And I mean, it's more power to her for doing it. Courage. It takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of heart, and she definitely cared about the cause. But my biggest question is, why is Lady Gaga the one that was talking about it? Like, we have Rosie O'Donnell, and we have Ellen, we have the Fab Five, I mean, we have all these gay icons, we have RuPaul everywhere. Like, not once did I see a tweet from Ellen about Don't Ask, Don't Tell, whether the vote was coming up or anything. Or I don't watch her show, but I'm assuming she didn't talk about it on her show either. Like, why? Like, when you reach that status, when you become a celebrity, or when you become a public official, or when you reach a high enough pedestal to where you can reach the masses, when your cause comes up, which I could only assume that this was her cause, I would only hope that she would care enough about her community to do this, then she should be openly speaking for it. Why did we have to rely on Lady Gaga, an up-and-coming music sensation, to say what people should have been saying for years? Alright. Next subject. Oh shit. Oh shit. Alright, after a brief technical difficulty, fuck that whiteboard, I am back. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, I'm kind of scared to do this now. Alright. Ex-boyfriends. I mean, it can be ex-girlfriends too, but most of the people I'm talking to are either gay men or straight women, so ex-boyfriends is kind of the term that applies. Like, people will talk to their ex-boyfriends, and then they'll break up with their ex-boyfriend, and then they'll go back to their ex-boyfriends. I do it too, so, I mean, I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm kind of done with that at this moment. How far gone? Like, when you break up with somebody, obviously there had to be an event, or a series of events, or, a feeling, or something that justified you guys breaking up to begin with. And I'm not saying that in all situations this isn't fixable. I mean, there are times when you can work things out, or there are times when maybe you've grown up and you see more in that person. But for the most part, when you break up, you break up. I mean, there's like I said in my last rant, there are 8 billion people on this earth. Please don't tell me that you can only find one. And the people who think that there's only one person out there for them are obviously going to be searching for a long freaking time. Also, it's about the people who put themselves, like, who aren't okay with their boyfriends, like, or ex-boyfriends, who have had relationships with them and they broke up, and maybe they're not over them, or maybe they still want to be with them, or maybe there's still a lot of harbored resentment, but they still continue to socialize with them because they want to be okay. That's destructive. Like, that's plain and simple. Like, why you're intentionally, like, if you know that's going to hurt you, and you walk into it, then you basically just want to hurt yourself. Why would you want to do that? Hold on. I'm getting thirsty. So, I don't see why anybody would want to do that. And it's baffling because, I mean, sometimes these people miss out on, like, great opportunities. Like, there are other guys that they would ideally be talking to, or that are interested in them, that are great guys. And I've talked to some of my friends, some coworkers, sometimes family, and they put themselves on hold, sometimes hoping that their ex-boyfriend will come back, or hoping that things will change, or because they can't get over the fact that they're still in love with their ex-boyfriend, or they are afraid to get hurt again. Like, that's the one that makes me the angriest, because we all get hurt. I mean, and for you to say I'm afraid to get hurt basically means I'm afraid to live. That's what that is, plain and simple. I'm sorry, but you're gonna get hurt, whether you're single, whether you're with somebody, whether you're talking to friends, whether you're a family. I mean, hurt is a part of life. I'm not saying throw yourself in it, but I'm not saying shut yourself out from it either. If you were talking to your ex-boyfriend, hoping to get back together with him, please evaluate why you're talking to him. And when you're evaluating that, please don't forget why you broke up with him to begin with. If you broke up with him because he beat the shit out of you, or you broke up with him because he was cheating on you, or you broke up with him because he emotionally, told you looked like shit, or because you guys didn't click, or because he was thinking about somebody else. I mean, there are reasons. There are common sense reasons that would permit you and justify you being with somebody, and there are common sense reasons that would tell you to stay the fuck away from them. We can tell who the monsters are pretty freaking easily sometimes, and sometimes we just choose to ignore it, and I think I talked about that last time too, and I think some of these themes are pretty recurrent. But that's life. I mean, sometimes things just recur. Reoccur? Occur? Some of you motherfuckers need to pay attention to this one. Because I got a special, I wish I had like another color marker. I wish I had a red marker for this one, because this one sets me so far off the edge that it's unreal. This next one, I'm gonna hide it so y'all motherfuckers can't see it. This one. Yeah, this pisses me off. This pisses me off so much. My big hang up on cheaters is that it's just so vile. Like, it's so underhanded. Like, one of the biggest things in a relationship is trust, and you're just essentially bastardizing that for something that in most cases doesn't even last. And it's just like, I think that the decent thing to do, like, I don't blame people for not being happy in a relationship. Like, that's okay. We all have those relationships where we're not happy, and that's when we break up with a person, they become our ex-boyfriend. But for you to not have the decency to tell that person how you're feeling, about the situation and not break it up, or, tell them that it's over, that even that's kind of okay, because maybe you want things to work out. But when you come across somebody else, like when you're having those thoughts about being with somebody else, and you act upon those thoughts without breaking it off with that person, essentially saying that, well, I really don't want to be with you, but, well, I kind of want to be with him. But you just kind of want to keep them on the side in case you are interested in them, or in case things with, person B doesn't work out. That's so disgusting. Like, that's so greedy. Or you have love, you fuck it up, and then you go find lust with somebody else. And it's just like, I have been in the situation very recently, where I had to decide whether or not I was going to tell somebody that they had been cheated on. And it wasn't because, like, I found out about it and I had to go tell them. No. It was, I found out about it, and then the situation approached me. Like, the person was genuinely talking to me about it, and I was just like, it's, well, yeah, I'm not sure where she is, but I'm sure she's out doing something, she's probably out just having fun, she'll be fine, just go back to bed. Oh my god, I'm lying. First of all, I hate lying. Like, that's why I'm such a bitch, because I don't lie that much, and sometimes the truth just pisses people off. But, I've had a lot of problems with this, like, throughout life with me, because you want to tell people things, like, you see something wrong and you want to write it, and I guess that makes me kind of a weird, fucked up kind of Avenger, but it's a common sense to me. Like, if you see something bad, you should, and you have the power to rectify it, you should rectify it. When people are talking to me and they tell me that, it's none of your business, it's not your place to say those things, it's their relationship, it's what they should be saying. In my mind's eye, that doesn't make sense to me, because essentially the unity of their life is broken when one single person decides to go behind the other person's back and essentially create a new relationship with somebody else, or exploit somebody else, betray their trust. For some, like, at that point, it's no longer me jumping into a couple's life. No, it's me interfering with one person. And it's not even so much me interfering, it's doing the right thing. Because, yeah, it's bad to break up a couple intentionally, but when that couple's essentially broken itself up by doing something that morally irresponsible, then it's almost my place to say something. Now, I didn't, and I don't intend to in this situation, because I'm really not trying to start anything. But I am genuinely morally wrought about it. Like, when I see something like that, I almost, like, a part of me just reaches out, because I would hate to be cheated on, and I would want somebody to tell me if I was being cheated on. Because I think that's the right thing to do. Like, I think that if a person isn't genuinely interested in me, then I don't want to be with them. I am not okay with living in a lie, even if that means dying alone or being alone or whatever. Alright, this last one is about a specific type of person. And I'm pretty sure we all have a friend that's like this, or we've dated somebody like this, or we've got a family member like this. And it's a person who is wishy-washy. A wishy-washy person to me is somebody who kind of, oh, a flip-flopper, there we go, wishy-washy flip-flopper, somebody who flounders, somebody who says that they feel a specific way about something, but then they go and do something completely opposite. And sometimes it's because they're lying to us, sometimes it's because they're lying to themselves, sometimes it's because they genuinely just have no fucking clue. And it's weird because, like, you'll be talking to them and they'll be like, yeah, well, I'm not talking to that person anymore. And then you'll, you know, be creeping, well, not so much creeping, but, like, stuff comes across your Facebook feed. And then you'll be, like, browsing down and seeing what everybody's up to. And for some reason, that person is posting, you know, person A is posting something on the person's wall who they said that they weren't talking to. Guess everything was all better. And then you text them, like, oh, you know, are you guys better? No, I'm still not talking to him. No. Yeah, you are. You know, Facebook may be a maniacal, devious, devilish little tool, but Facebook doesn't lie. Like, that wall is pretty fucking efficient until you delete something. Oh, and the gay relationship, this is actually really, really common because, like, if a femme guy is dating, like, a really masculine guy, sometimes the masculine guy doesn't like the fact that he's so femme, so the femme guy will kind of tone it down a little. Like, if somebody told me to tone down my personality, I would tell them to get fucked. Because I love, like, this is a lot to handle, but I love this, and this comes with the package. And so many people are okay with just being like, yeah, maybe I am a little, you know. Yeah. And if it's one of those things that you were genuinely like, yeah, maybe I am, you know, you were thinking this before the relationship, then it's okay. But if the only reason you're changing is because the person that you're with wants you to change, then you're living a lie. Like, if you like your hair long and your boyfriend tells you that you need to keep cutting it short, why? I like my hair long. If you love me, you love me. You know, you don't love me just because my hair is short. You love me for me. Well, some people aren't that okay with it. And the wishy-washy person apparently is okay with it. You know, and and I think the wishy-washy person has a better chance of getting a relationship. I mean, who doesn't want that boyfriend, that fit-all boyfriend that kind of conforms to your curves and contours and does what you want? I mean, is the perfect boyfriend. But I don't think that wishy-washy, well, a decent wishy-washy person will last long in a relationship because A, you know, the whole story is going to start falling apart when they realize who you really are. But even if you can keep up the story, the wishy-washy person is going to be so wrapped up in identity issues, it's unreal. They're going to forget who the hell they were, and then on the off chance that that person does break up with them, which is just as likely because people break up every day, they're not going to know who the fuck they are, and they're going to spend 5 months reliving and researching for who they were just because they wanted to live a lie. Don't lie to yourself. Like, because, yeah, it's true that, you know, boyfriends are important, or, I'm not boyfriend, but, like, relationships are important, and friends are important, and family is important. Like, I understand all of that. You know, we need to interact with people in order to not go insane, because I know that if I weren't communicating with people, I would go insane. But at the end of the day, what are you left with? You're not left with your boyfriend, because they may leave you. Family dies, you know, that happens. Let's see, friends sometimes go off to college, and maybe you do have these people. But what happens when you're in your deathbed? And that 1 second right before you pass away, the only thing you're left with before you enter that blinding light or whatever theory we're going to go with is you. And if you're not okay with you, then your entire life has been a waste. And that's plain and simple. Thanks for joining me again, guys. Hopefully I don't lose my video camera or don't get censored by YouTube for whatever reason. I don't know. Bye.